with a touch that no longer lingers, with a woman sitting across from her husband at dinner and realizing they've stopped seeing each other. She doesn't wake up one morning planning to wander. She wakes up one morning and realizes she hasn't felt alive in years. And that's where it begins. Why do married women look for adventures outside? Here's the truth no one tells you. She's not chasing someone else. She's chasing the woman she used to be. The one who laughed without caution. The one who felt desired. The one who didn't measure her worth in how many tasks she completed in a day. The one who used to dance, not just clean, speak, not just serve, dream, not just manage schedules. Over time, many women disappear into the title of wife. Not because they want to, but because it's what the world, and often their partner, silently expects. The word adventure sounds scandalous, but what if the adventure isn't about another man? What if it's about emotion? What if it's about someone noticing her, asking her how she feels, and actually listening to the answer? Sometimes all it takes is one conversation, one compliment, one moment where she feels radiant again, to wake up something she thought she'd buried for good. And no, it's not always physical. It's often emotional, connection, spark, meaning. Not to betray the marriage, but to remember what it feels like to be wanted instead of just needed. She's carried so much. The kids, the home, the bills, the emotions no one talks about. She's made herself small so love could feel big. She's silenced her needs so peace could survive. And in doing so, she slowly vanished until even she forgot what she sounded like when she was happy. And then someone looks at her differently, speaks to her with warmth, says her name like it matters. And for a moment, she remembers she's still a woman, not just a mother, not just a wife, but her. It's easy to call her a traitor, but here's a softer truth. She didn't want to hurt anyone. She just didn't want to disappear. She's not a villain. She's a mirror, reflecting what happens when affection fades, when presence turns to absence, when two people forget to tend the garden they built together. No, this doesn't excuse disloyalty, but it does explain something deeper, something human, something real. Most women don't cheat because they're heartless. They stray because they feel emotionally starved, because love became duty, because kisses turned to habits, because no one asked, "How's your heart?" and waited for the real answer. Here's the shocking truth. The affair wasn't with another man. It was with freedom, with recognition, with aliveness, with a piece of herself she thought she lost in the layers of marriage. If you're the one who's been left confused, abandoned, or hurt by someone pulling away, ask this. Were you still speaking her love language? Or were you just speaking out of routine? Did she feel seen or simply supported? Did she feel adored or just tolerated? Love without attention becomes a burden. Marriage without emotional intimacy becomes a slow, silent grief. No woman wakes up hoping to betray her vows, but many wake up feeling betrayed by how invisible they become. This isn't a call to justify, it's a call to understand, to listen, to feel, to remember that adventure sometimes is just a cry for aliveness. If this message opened your heart, even just a little, please like, share, and subscribe. Not for numbers, but so someone else can find their reflection and begin to heal too. Not every betrayal begins with a secret. Some begin in plain sight, in the silence between two people who used to share everything. It begins with her sitting quietly beside her husband, wondering when his voice stops sounding like comfort. It begins when she's folding the laundry and realizes no one has asked how she's really doing in weeks, maybe months. It doesn't start with lust. It starts with loneliness. Not the kind you feel when you're alone, but the kind you feel when you're surrounded by people and still feel unseen. Marriage, for many women, is a place of love, but also a place where they slowly forget how to need. They learn how to give, how to care, how to hold the weight of a home on their back and never complain. They become the nurturer, the emotional pillar, the one who remembers everyone's birthdays, doctor appointments, fears. But who remembers hers? Who asks her what she's dreaming about these days? Who sees her beyond her roles? Who notices when her laughter has turned into politeness? Let's be clear about something. Not all married women who feel unseen go looking for someone else, but many begin to look for something, a feeling, a spark, a reminder that they're still alive beneath the routine. And here's the myth that needs to be shattered. She's not chasing forbidden romance. She's chasing the girl she used to be before she became everything for everyone. She doesn't want to destroy what she built. She just wants to feel something again, something real. Too often, marriage becomes an arrangement of tasks. Two people doing life side by side, but not soul to soul. They share bills, errands, calendars, but not eye contact, not intention, not intimacy. And that word, intimacy, it doesn't just mean sex. It means touch without an agenda, a compliment without a reason, a conversation that goes deeper than the logistics of tomorrow. She starts to wonder if she's a wife or just a function in a system that once was love. This is where the quiet danger begins, not with a hotel room or a late-night text, but with emotional drift. Maybe a co-worker starts asking how she's really doing. Maybe an old friend starts showing curiosity about her inner world. Maybe someone, somewhere, says her name like it still means something beautiful. And suddenly, she realizes how starved she is for being seen. This is not about cheating, it's about awakening, about the moment she realizes she's been living on emotional crumbs. She didn't want more, she just needed different. She needed presence, not grand gestures, just small moments that say, I still see you, I still choose you. You're not invisible in this house. But years of being the one who gives without ever being poured into can leave even the strongest woman hollow. And when that hollowness becomes too loud to ignore, she starts seeking something that doesn't feel like betrayal, but feels like breath. What many people fail to understand is that a woman stepping outside of her marriage emotionally is not always about rebellion. It's about survival. Because when you give everything to someone for years and they stop meeting you there, you begin to wonder if love is supposed to feel this lonely. She's not a villain. She's a mirror, a reflection of every unspoken need, every unmet emotional hunger, every time she said, I'm fine, but wasn't. She doesn't want to break hearts. She just doesn't want to break down anymore. The shocking truth is that most women who wander, emotionally or physically, still love their partner, but they feel like strangers in their own marriage. They feel like ghosts, present, helpful, supportive, but emotionally abandoned. They don't want to leave the marriage. They want to leave the version of themselves that gave and gave until there was nothing left to give. If you're the partner she left or the one she emotionally drifted from, you're allowed to feel hurt, but you're also invited to look deeper. Did she feel emotionally safe with you? Did she feel adored or just appreciated? Did she feel chosen or just responsible? Many women stay loyal far longer than they feel loved. They hope, they beg, they go quiet, they pray you'll notice. But when silence becomes the answer to every need, they start asking different questions of themselves and of the world. This is not a video about excusing betrayal. It's about understanding the emotional erosion that leads a woman to look for adventure, not outside her marriage, but outside the version of herself that forgot how to feel. She doesn't want another man. She wants another version of her life, of her worth, of her joy. And if no one in her marriage helps her remember that woman, she will look for her somewhere else. This is the healing mirror. Not every love story ends with hatred. Some end with silence, with exhaustion, with one partner starving while the other believes everything's fine. This is not about blame. It's about noticing, about being brave enough to ask, what did she need that I stopped giving? Because no woman wakes up hoping to lose her marriage, but many wake up hoping to find themselves again. If this message helped you feel even a little, please like, share, and subscribe so more hearts can reflect, more pain can be spoken, and more people can finally begin to heal. This is the healing mirror.